everybody, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy, and I'm here for you today with a reading for you. So I'm so excited to be adding this into the mix here on my channel. As many of you know, I work with the angels, I connect with the angelic energy, I pass along messages from the angels, and one of the things that they have made me very clear on is that it's time for me to step it up a little bit more. It's time for me to create more readings for you guys, to create more things for you guys, more avenues for you to receive messages. And I love making videos. I love connecting with all of you. I love giving things to all of you. So I'm really, really excited about that. We are going to be starting with my first pick a pile reading is going to focus on strictly what do your angels want you to know right now? What do you need to know here in your life? What are your messages here right now? And I'm going to be going through with these videos and choosing different topics and focusing on different things. And what's really, really cool about this is it doesn't have to be a video that you watch right now. You know, maybe you don't feel called to watch this video right now, or maybe you're catching this video and it's a year later from when I've made it, or a month later from when I made it. And if you have stumbled upon this video, if you feel called to watch it, then it is the video for you. These are messages for you. I would say with any messages that you take what speaks to you and you leave the rest, because certainly this is a general reading for everyone. And so you might find that some things really, really resonate and some things don't. So just take what speaks to you, leave the rest. And we will be diving into what your angels want you to know. I'm really excited to share this with you. So what I want you to do is to take a peek at these piles of cards. I have 3 piles here. And what I want you to do is just intuitively feel out what pile you're most drawn to. You might just have a sense of what pile you're most drawn to. You might hear pile 1, 2, or 3 in your mind. You might notice that one pile seems to sort of light up or pull your eyes, or just feel that out and just see whatever pile you are first drawn to, that's going to be the pile that you're going to choose. So I'll give you just a couple of seconds to choose your pile and feel good about the pile that you've chosen. Okay, guys, so hopefully you were able to choose the pile that feels best for you. We are going to be diving in first and foremost with pile number 1. So for those of you who chose pile number 1, we're going to be diving into your messages from the angels. So the very first card I have here with this pile number 1 is the 10 of Air. So the 10 of Air card oftentimes is representing the fact that you've been through, well, a shit ton of stuff lately, okay? So maybe you've been through a really challenging time in your life. Maybe you have worked through a lot of things. And this is talking about an ending to a challenging situation. So this is representing where you're at right now in your life or in the very near future. So if you're kind of on the brink of a really challenging situation ending, hang tight, because this is saying any day now that is going to end, that is going to shift. But this is also acknowledging that you've been through so much and you've been really patient, or you know, you've waited it out for a very long time for a difficult situation to end, and now you're starting to transition, to shift, to move forward with things. And this is a really, really beautiful thing. This can even be that you've had a lot of changes in your life. I sometimes will pull this card for people who have been through a period in their life where it just seems like it's been change after change after change, and they really are making a lot of changes for themselves and experiencing a lot of loss and change and shifts in their life so that they can level up into the next level of their life. You know, sometimes we have to clear away those things that don't serve us in order for us to step into that next phase of our life, that exciting phase of our life. So it may have been stressful. You may still find yourself just having a hard time with the transition of everything, you know, and adjusting to the transition and all of this. But this is an important part of the process, that choice to move forward, that choice to release it. And so if you haven't chosen to move forward, I want you to even just put that intention out to the universe. I choose to move forward. I choose to release this. I choose to no longer focus on this, whether it's a relationship, a job, a situation, a person that has treated you poorly, whatever that situation is, or situations, I feel like in a lot of cases with this reading, choose to let it go. Choose to release yourself from it. This isn't about letting that person off the hook or that situation off the hook. This is about releasing yourself from it because it doesn't serve you anymore. It's not important for you in your life anymore. And this does feel, by the way, connected specifically with a romantic partner. The shift. So maybe you have recently ended a relationship, or maybe you are calling in that ideal soul partner for you, that ideal soul partnership for you, maybe both, right? And so this is sort of acknowledging that everything that has happened, whether it's related to a relationship or not, is in part about creating a situation where your ultimate relationship, your ultimate soul partner can come into your life and connect with you. Or maybe you're already with your soul partner, but there's been a lot of challenges related to that and a lot of work that you guys have needed to work through and get through. And so this is acknowledging that everything has happened so that you can connect in a different way, connect in a light-filled, very healthy, beautiful way. And so maybe you've been doing things in a pretty unhealthy way for a long time, or maybe you released a really toxic and unhealthy relationship. I am feeling some energy around addictions here a little bit as well. So maybe you've released somebody in your life, or you've released an addiction yourself, or somebody who was addicted, and you're trying to move forward from this, and that can be really challenging. And, I feel like you guys with pile number one are kind of in a place where you are finding yourself feeling like you're struggling a little bit with moving forward, with letting go. I think that you want to just stay the course and continue to set your intentions that you're handing this over to your higher power, that you're choosing to release it, that you're choosing to move forward, that you're choosing to not hang on to this. Because if you can, I feel such a beautiful, beautiful progression coming forward. And here we have the Six of Earth, okay? So the Six of Earth card is really about positive and abundant things coming into your life, right? So maybe you recently have gained a new career, or gained a raise, or some opportunities have come into your life, or there have been, the card itself even says gifts of money, time, or effort. So maybe suddenly you have found yourself in all of these shifts, having more time on your plate, or maybe you have more money somehow, or whatever these changes are. I feel as though it has allowed for some positives to come into your life. It has allowed you to have more time, more money, be yourself more, whatever this is. And so it's really important that you focus on that right now, that you focus on the benefits of that so that you can work through the shifts, so that you can work through the pain and allow yourself to move forward. Because here we have the theme card that we pulled for you guys, and this is the Wounded Child card, okay? So I feel like everything that you're working through is actually in part triggering some of these old childhood issues. And so you're going to want to take a look at that as well. And what is this triggering, and what am I reacting to, and what is this bringing up for me from my past? Is this an opportunity for me to move forward? Is this an opportunity to really work through that stuff that maybe I didn't work through in the past, and allow myself to step into the next level of things, to level up like we talked about, to really release it, to really let it go. Not only this most recent situation or situations, but situations from the past that have held us back, and recognizing what that wounded child needs. I like to recommend with the wounded child that sometimes we do a visualization and we take a little bit of time to visualize that inner child and sending love to that inner child, and asking that inner child what it is that he or she needs. And oftentimes, it's simply to be held, or to be told that everything is okay, or to be told that they're safe, or that they're loved. And so can you give that to that inner child in that meditation? And it's incredible to me how powerful just doing that one time can be, how life-changing just doing that one time can be, because this is you choosing to heal the inner child rather than hanging on to it and allowing it to continue to act out or seek out what it needs in ways that are not healthy or truly in the long term beneficial to you. So we are going to be moving forward with these cards, moving forward into a progression of, what are the barriers and obstacles that we have going on for you here in your life, and what do you need to know? And so here we have the Seven of Roses reversed, the journey, okay? So this is kind of acknowledging that you've been feeling kind of stuck, that maybe you have done a lot of work on yourself and had made a lot of changes, and then all of a sudden it kind of came to a screeching halt. And you're still working through processing all this change. You're still working through processing everything that has happened to you and for you. And because I truly believe it's for you, for your highest and best good. But you're feeling a little bit stuck. And Spirit is just acknowledging that this is okay. Because here's the thing. You're feeling stuck because it's a time for you to rebalance. It's a time for you to find that balance, okay? So what is it that balances you? What is it that's helpful for you? I know for me, when I catch myself feeling out of balance, I start with the absolute basics. Can I make sure that I'm eating healthier foods, that I'm taking better care of my body, that I'm drinking more water, that I'm going to bed earlier, that I am balancing out how busy I am. Maybe I turn down some social invitations, or maybe if I'm acting kind of more like a hermit and I'm needing to pull away more, maybe I'm accepting a few more social invitations so that I'm finding that balance. Maybe I'm doing yoga, maybe I'm doing something creative, maybe I'm exercising to help bring myself into balance. I know for me that exercise and hiking in the woods is really balancing. I know for some people, being around water is really balancing for them, or taking baths is really balancing for them. So whatever it is that you need to bring yourself into balance, that is a priority right now. And that's going to be really, really important for you right now, because life is out of balance for you. And you want to, as you're progressing and moving forward, you want to make sure that you find that balance, because I think that is, I just keep hearing the word foundation, right? So it's creating a solid foundation for what you're moving into. I think that we've got to take a pause, reestablish that foundation, right? You don't just build a house without building a foundation. You create the foundation first, and then you can build upon it, because then it's going to be sturdy. Then it's not going to fall down or, only last for a short period of time. So you want to make sure that you are building that solid foundation, and that comes through balance, okay? And this balance, here we have the Wolf card as well. And this is about, the card itself says, be independent, but work together, okay? So, I feel like in some ways with that wounded child energy, that it can be a bit of, I'm going to push you away, I'm going to let you in, I'm going to push you away, I'm going to let you in. And maybe feeling really either uncomfortable about letting people in, or only allowing people in so much, or when you are letting yourself be more vulnerable, sort of pushing people away. And again, this is about finding a balance, right? Where we don't want to push it so much that you find yourself feeling really overwhelmed with the people that you're allowing into your life, or the level of vulnerability that you're allowing for yourself. But we also don't want you to be closed up. We don't want you to close that heart chakra. We want you to stay open. We want you to share your experiences with people. We want you to be social. I talked about the hermit and being social, right? We want you to take time for yourself, for your own energy, but also it's important for you to seek people out, to spend time with other people. You want to make sure that those are people that raise you up. Those are people overall that make you feel good, or find a balance with that. Maybe you have some coworkers that kind of suck, you don't like their energy, that it's not a nice fit. So sometimes we have to be around these people. So can we balance that out with people that we enjoy, or taking a little more space at work if possible, or whatever you need to do to try to balance that out, or surrounding yourself with ultra positive people to balance out the ultra negative people, whatever works, but finding that balance for you. So now, as we are progressing, as we are taking a look at where you are moving into, this is some advice for where you're moving into in the future for you, in the near future. So here we have the Four of Water, okay? So this is about not being so focused on the past. This is Four of Cups in traditional tarot. Don't be so focused on the past that you're missing out on the opportunities that are coming your way, because you do have opportunities coming your way, and I feel like they're really beautiful. But if you're so focused on the past, whether you're dwelling, whether you're, reliving old memories so often, or you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I'll never have that in my life again, or that was my only chance, or, focusing on an old relationship that really maybe you're romanticizing a little bit, that, didn't serve you as nicely as you're telling yourself it served you. Or whatever that is, you're focusing too much on the past. Stop looking back and start focusing on what's coming your way. Start focusing on what you're grateful for right now, and what opportunities, what people, what amazing situations are arriving into your experience right now. Because I feel like if you can focus on that, it's going to be bigger and better, more amazing than anything that has happened to you in your past. But if you don't allow it, if you don't pay attention, you're going to miss out on it. And that's really, really important. And I do feel like part of this theme is connection. That you're opening more to connection, and that part of what this has been about is bringing connection in, whether it is for that romantic partner or whether it's just for your soul family, for those people that are meant to be in your life. And this is acknowledging that you're moving in that direction, that you are calling in these people that are going to be beautiful and supportive. Maybe you've been asking for that, maybe you've been intending for that, but you had to clear a whole hell of a lot of people out of your life before it could be allowed in your life, okay? So this is just acknowledging that these trustworthy friends are coming in. In fact, here is what the card says. It says, "Thank you, angels, for surrounding me with people that I can trust and love." And so these people are arriving into your experience. These might be one of the opportunities that are coming into your world. And if you are so focused on people can't be trusted, I don't like people, or whatever it is that you're telling yourself, you're not going to connect with your soul family, and we all need connection. So do not bullshit yourself into thinking that it's okay for you to pull away, to always be protected, to always live your life with a closed heart, because if you do that, you're going to feel very unhappy. You cannot fool yourself into not needing some kind of a social experience, a connected experience. We are human beings need connection. Okay, so it's important to invite that in and to allow that in and to push yourself out of your comfort zone if you have been trying to isolate yourself a little bit. And I feel like the energy of this is kind of that, like maybe you haven't been getting out there as much. So let yourself find that perfect balance for you. Time alone is wonderful too, and very, very important, but let yourself just really allow it on a whole new level of vulnerability. Be more vulnerable, open up to people more, be more yourself, be more genuine. Trust that people can love you for who you are, just for being who you are. I think that that's something that when people just allow themselves to just genuinely be who they are, that's where the real connections can happen for us in our life, okay? And then the last card that I have here for you is to not fool yourself into thinking that you are trapped, that you are stuck, that things are never going to move forward, because things are moving forward. And I feel like you're missing it. I feel like you are not recognizing the ways in which things are moving forward. And so look around, pay attention, recognize the progress that you've already made. Give yourself credit, pat yourself on the back for the progress that you've already made and for the ways that things have moved forward, and understand that there is such thing as divine timing. But I do feel like also you're being very helped with things, and that things are moving forward, that this has been the end of a difficult situation and you're stepping into a new beginning for yourself in so many ways. And sometimes it takes a little time to get acclimated to this new beginning before you start to notice the progress that's happening. You are not as stuck as you think you are. This card is all about the illusion of being trapped. You are not trapped. So how can I take a step-by-step approach to moving forward, or how can I recognize how it's already moving forward for myself? um, how can I even just this? Sometimes this is about connecting with your confidence too. Allow yourself to believe in yourself, to believe in your ability to do this. Maybe it's fear that's holding you back. Maybe it's fear that's keeping you stuck. So can you look at that fear? Can you stare it down and say, I am not willing to do this anymore. I am not willing to stay here. I am progressing. I am moving forward. This is what I want. This is what I need. And this is what I'm going to do. So those are your messages, pile one. If you want to learn more about me or about Clarity by Christy, you can check me out at discoveryourawakening.com. And I do offer individual tarot readings for anyone who might be interested. So feel free to get in contact with me if you want to set that up for yourself. Thanks, guys. Okay, pile two, let's take a peek at what your messages from your angels are. So we are going to start with the cards that are in this first position. And the cards in the first position, the first section of this reading, are going to focus on what's been going on for you most recently in the most immediate past, or what's coming in the very, very near future for you. So if this is stuff that you're not already experiencing, it should be coming in anytime for you now. But I think that this is what you have going on for you right now. So the very first card that we have here is the Four of Air reversed. Okay, so this is really suggesting that you've been feeling like you need to take a rest, that you've been feeling like you need some time away, that you need a vacation, that you need to rebalance, that you need to just recenter yourself. But this is acknowledging in the reverse that this hasn't happened for you. Okay, so the very first thing that I want to say is find a way to make this happen for yourself. Find a way to work in even just a little bit more time for yourself, a little bit more care and attention to that self-care for yourself. And if you can, even better, getting away for a few days or for a vacation, whatever you can do to make sure that you are finding this rebalancing, finding this new energy, because you're going to need it moving forward. And I think that this is really important. And Spirit is acknowledging that you are feeling very depleted right now, that you are maybe not as energized, not as hopeful, not as in alignment as you could be if you took a little bit of time out to find this rebalance for yourself. Okay? And this card, the next card that we have here is the King of Air, and this really supports that even more so. This is about getting your thinking right, getting your thinking turned around, because I feel like things have been so emotional, so overwhelming, that your thinking is not in the best place. It feels as though it's more negative thinking. You're not feeling very hopeful. You're not feeling very excited about life. You are not expecting a lot. You're kind of expecting the worst out of things. And this card is actually suggesting that you do whatever it is that you need to do to get your thoughts back on track, to get your thoughts into a more positive place. And sometimes with this card, that can mean that you need extra help with that. So seeking out a mental health professional, a spiritual guide, somebody to really support this process for you, to help you to maybe do the work that you're needing to do to turn that around, that you're struggling to do on your own. If you're not able to do that, or that's not an option for you, even doing something like a positive thinking workbook, or doing a self-help book of some kind, or listening to audio or videos that are about better thinking or more positive thinking, or just even raising your vibration, or anything that's going to help you, anything that you feel called to do, making sure that you add that in, because it looks like you're needing just a little bit of outside help in some way, shape, or form to shift this energy, to turn it back around, to get you back in alignment with who you really are. And here we have the Trust Your Vibes card, okay? So I feel like these things that I'm telling you aren't really messages that you didn't already know. I feel like you're getting your messages. I do feel like you have a pretty good intuitive sense of what's going on for you and what it is that you need, but you're not trusting it. You're not listening. You're not listening to that intuitive voice that is saying that you need to do this, that you need to do that, that you need to, I feel like in this case that something has happened, something has triggered all of this, and it feels in relation to a trust issue connected to another person. And this is about making sure that moving forward, that you're honoring the vibes that you're getting, whether it's about a person, whether it's about a situation, that you are honoring that voice that is trying to show you the way, that's trying to help you to avoid pain and hardship. And it's not that there's not a lesson here. I think that you have maybe learned some important lessons recently, but you can save yourself a lot of pain and hardship if you can trust the vibes from the very beginning and you can listen to that. And that's part of this lesson here that you're meant to learn is, what can I learn from these situations that have happened for me recently, and what can I do about it? So it's going to be really important for you moving forward to learn that lesson of trusting your vibes. And what did that feel like? How did you know that something was off, that you needed to listen to something? And can you next time listen to that? Can you next time trust that? So as we are moving forward, I want to talk about just an overall theme for you here, okay? So an overall theme, we have the gossip card. And these are my archetype cards. They're really, really great for telling us themes that we have, that we're working through, or that we have going on in our lives, okay? So this is that energy of somebody saying things that they shouldn't be saying, or sharing things that they shouldn't be saying. That could be you, that could be the people around you. I actually feel like this was maybe that violation of trust in some way, that this was maybe something that you shared with somebody, or somebody just not honoring you to other people. And so understand again that there's very much a lesson in this for you to take a step back and learn from, because we all have gossiped. We all have been a part of talking about other people and being a part of that process. And can we instead really think about, how can I hold myself accountable to being a more trustworthy person, to not spreading gossip, to not feeding that kind of energy? Because when you feed that kind of energy, this is also what you're going to get. But also, can I trust my vibes? Can I listen when I feel like somebody is going to gossip about me or share information in a way that is different than I intended for it to be perceived, or, speak negatively about me in some way, shape, or form? Can we listen to the vibes prior to that so that we can avoid the situation altogether? So I feel like there is multi-layered lessons in the mix of all of this stuff. So then we're going to progress into this area of the second cards that I have here in the middle are about barriers and advice. Like, what do we need to know moving forward? What advice do the angels actually have for you? Okay, so the very first message that we have is the Two of Roses. And so this is actually the message of that you do have angels with you, okay? So I don't know if you're doubting that you have support and help from the angels, or if you aren't even sure that angels exist, or you're not sure that they help you. Everyone has their own personal angels, each and every person. And we all have this beautiful support system that we have around us that are angels and spirit guides. This is what I see, and crossed loved ones, and all kinds of beautiful helpers that have come in to assist us on our journey. So this is just a reminder that stop doubting it. You have so much help available to you. And I feel like there's a little bit of a stubbornness of, I'm either not aware enough to ask for help, or I'm not asking for help, or I'm going to try to do it all myself. Ask for help, whether it's from your spirit team, whether it's from this physical world, from the people in your life. Ask for help. You have help available to you. And this is really important for you to do with little things, with big things, because I feel like you need it right now to take you from where you're at to where you're wanting to go. So making sure that you call on your angels, and people will say to me, well, how the heck do I do that? How do I call on my angels? How do I ask for help? And it's really as simple as actually just asking for help. It's as simple as out loud or in your mind saying, will you please help me with this? I don't know what to do with this. Will you please help me with this? Angels, please help me with this situation. And by doing that, or by saying a prayer and asking for help, we can invite in those energies, because they can't help us until we ask for help. So that's a really important thing to consider when you are thinking about your angels. And here we have the Six of Roses, so another Roses card. So I do feel like there's some stuff going on in regard to personal relationships, to personal interactions with people based on these roses, because in traditional tarot, this is cups, this is relationships, okay? So the War of the Roses is really about surrendering, throwing in the flag. There has been a war, there has been a battle, whether it's a battle within you, whether it's a battle with you and somebody else or with you in a group, whatever this war is, whatever this battle is that you have going on, it's time for you to throw in the towel. It's time for you to release yourself from the situation. This is no longer about winning. This is no longer about getting your way or making this happen. This situation, this war, this interaction is bringing you into a place that is very negative, that is not helpful. And so whatever it is that you're engaging in that feels like a battle, that feels like a war, it's time for you to walk away. And this is not allowing that other person or that situation or whatever it is to win. This is about releasing yourself so that you can be okay. Okay, this is about rising above the battle, rising above the conflict, and just choosing to, as best you can, remove yourself from the situation in whatever way you feel called to remove yourself so that you can release yourself, so that you can stop bringing in this heaviness and this negativity and this low level vibrational energy. It's going to be really important for you to do that. So walk away from the battle, release yourself. And the next step here we have the turtle card. Okay, so the turtle card says, be joyful and trusting. Okay, so I feel like on the other side of this, so when we are asking for help and we are walking away from the battle, we are choosing to walk away, the next step is to allow ourselves to begin the process of connecting with our joy and our trust. Sometimes when we walk away from something, even if it's stressful, even if it's been challenging, if it's known to us, if it's comfortable to us, it's comfortable to us. So it's what we're used to. And so sometimes walking away from that is what we need. Trust is required in order for us to walk away from that, because it's still really scary. Even if we know it doesn't serve us, even if we know that it's not helpful to us, trusting in our higher power to carry us through that, and trusting that when we close one door, that another one will open, but we might need to wait a little bit. We might not have signs or evidence showing up that new things are going to manifest or that something better is coming, and we have to trust that something is better is coming, because this is exactly how we allow that door to show up, and we allow that door to open as quickly as possible. And the joy is the other part of that, right? Letting yourself as often as possible find gratitude in your current situation, to find joy in your current situation. What brings you joy? Do more of that. Spend more time doing that. Find joy in the little things of life, right? Because there are so many beautiful things that we can find joy in. One of my favorite things to do is to just sit out and watch the sunset. And there's a lot of evidence that suggests that when we can watch sunsets consistently, we are releasing things like depression and anxiety, because we're having a very deep spiritual understanding that there is a higher power protecting us, taking care of us. And, we can trust that when the sun sets every day, that it's going to rise the next day, and it's going to always rise the next day. And we just have that trust. So can we have that trust that God will do that for us in our lives? That when one sun is setting, that the sun is going to rise again, and we're going to be okay. So helping you to find joy in those little things and those big things and those beautiful things in life are going to be really, really important. And so now we're going to move forward into what is it that we're moving forward into, and what do we need to know about that? What advice do the angels have for you about that? So here we have the Two of Water reverse. Okay, so this is suggesting to me that a powerful and positive dynamic within relationships, potentially romantic relationships, but it doesn't have to be, okay? But a positive and powerful romantic energy within relationships is heading your way. But you need to take a little bit of a pause. You need to retreat a little bit and take care of yourself. Now, this doesn't mean that you push everybody in your life out of the way, or that you don't interact with people. That's not what I'm talking about here. But I am talking about if you're really seeking out relationships and connection, and especially soul connections, right? Soul family connections, soulmate connections, that kind of stuff. Understand that right now, what's important is for you to develop a positive and powerful relationship with yourself. When you can do that, and I think that you're working on that, this is where you change your magnet of the energy that you're pulling in. This is where you pull in even better stuff, even better relationships, even better people into your experience. And so focus on those people that you do have in your life right now that are meeting you on a deep soul level, and that are your people, and that are supportive and uplifting, and really pull back from the rest as best you can right now to find that balance, and focus on giving yourself that self-love and taking care of yourself and rebalancing yourself, because this energy wants to come through for you, but you've got to take some steps at taking care of yourself and getting yourself back into seeing yourself in a more positive light before this can come through. And when this comes through, this is soul family stuff. This is soulmate stuff for those of you that are looking for a relationship. So it's a beautiful energy that wants to come through. You've just got to do a little bit of work to allow that door to open for you. We also are taking a look at this 8 of Earth card. We are taking a look at learning something new. So if you've been feeling compelled to take a specific course, read a specific book, learn about a new area of study, something of that nature, this is really your validation to make sure that you do that. If you haven't felt called to do that, keep an eye out for what's showing up for you. Keep an eye out as to what new things are you feeling called to learn, what's showing up for you. Maybe you see a class that's being offered somewhere and it just sort of sparks your interest. Make sure that you follow through with that if that feels right for you. If you see a book that shows up, or a friend mentions the book to you, and you just feel called for whatever reason to read that book, especially if it's learning or self-help or self-development or some kind of a development, make sure that you do that. Any kind of learning here is going to be important. If you feel compelled to learn more about a specific thing, find videos on YouTube about it. There's so many different avenues and ways that we can learn and study and develop the knowledge base that we have, but I really feel like there's something coming in that's going to allow for that. Now here we have this making new friends card, okay? So I feel like this card is really supporting this concept of work on that self-love, work on yourself, and you're going to find that higher vibrational people are coming into your life, soul family, soul mates are coming into your life. So do that work, because this energy really wants to come in for you and really wants to shift. And I do feel like you've maybe been through a period of clearing out that which no longer serves you. So keep doing that. Keep releasing those connections or shifting those connections in whatever way feels best and right for you, so that you can allow for this beautiful new energy to come through, these high vibrational relationships that you want to have in your life. So I'm really excited for you. I think that this is going to be a beautiful energy moving forward. If you want to learn more about me or about Clarity by Christy, you can check me out at discoveryourawakening.com. And I do private readings, guys. If you're interested in setting one up over video, or if you just happen to live locally where I live, I also do those in person. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can also check out my website for that. Again, that's discoveryourawakening.com. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure that you do that, because I'm going to be doing a lot of these readings, and you can get notifications for whenever they come through. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care. Okay, guys, let's take a peek at what we have for pile 3 for this reading. So we're going to be taking a look at what do the angels want you to know right now here in your life. So the first part of this reading, I'm going to focus on your current situation, or your most immediate past, or even what you're going to be moving into in the relatively very, very near future. So if this energy that I'm talking about isn't what you're feeling already, which chances are you probably will be feeling some of it already, but if it's not what you're feeling already, you can kind of expect that this is going to be showing up for you in the very, very near future. So the first thing that I want to focus on is just this energy of feeling a little bit down and out, feeling pretty doubtful, feeling with this 9 of air, we can tend to feel kind of hopeless about things, or we can tend to be manifesting things that we don't want in our life because we are worrying so much. This is my worrying card. This is my self-fulfilling prophecy card, okay? I think that this is really showing us that in so many ways you've been expecting the worst in your life or of yourself. And it's really important that you take a step back and you recognize that you are creating a lot of these scenarios through the worrying. And one of the very worst things that you can do for yourself or for the people that you love is worrying. And I know, like, I get it. It's hard, right, to redirect that. But I want you to start to pay attention. I want you to start to notice the times that you're worrying, the times that you are overly focused on the negative or what's the worst that can happen. And I want you to redirect that. What's the best that can happen? What do you want in your life? What kind of energies do you want to manifest? And the more that you can redirect that, the more you will train your brain to connect with those energies and those things that you want to manifest in your life. So it's really important. Now, this is really an interesting energy that we have that's it's an interesting juxtaposition here between these two cards because we have the Empress card as well. Okay, so I do feel like you've got some awesome stuff going for you right now as well. You know, the Empress card is very much about abundance and feeling like you live a very abundant life, feeling like you have the things that you need and the things that you want, and not really wanting for a whole lot. So there is a little bit of this energy of the Empress. So if you haven't been feeling like things are abundant, certainly based on this card and some of the other cards that I see in your spread, this is absolutely coming for you. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you're really questioning things related to money, and part of this message is you actually are doing way better than you realize that you are, and you need to stop focusing on lack and start focusing on what it is that you do have in your life, that you do have manifested. That's great, that's positive, the things that you're grateful for, because that is what's going to bring the real abundance and the really great energy with it. So making sure that you are focusing on that. And this is also about nurturing yourself, right? Taking time to really give attention to that self-care and to nurture yourself, to be almost motherly to yourself. What is it that I need right now? What is going to be best for me right now? How can I take as good of care of myself as I do for other people? Also, if you're somebody who has been trying to get pregnant or wanting to get pregnant, or maybe not even wanting to get pregnant, this can be an energy of that is coming in the near future, or you already are pregnant. So sometimes when I pull this card, it is suggesting that you are about to be a mother, or even that there are issues connected with motherhood as well. So you may be finding that you're needing to reinvent yourself in terms of your mothering role in some way, or you are being reconnected to that a little bit more differently or strongly. And so whatever it is that you're experiencing, but this can be connected to that energy, that nurturing motherly energy as well. Or maybe it is that you're needing to, again, be that mother for yourself and nurture yourself. So that's going to be really, really important here. And we also have just this inner voice card, right? Okay, so I want you to pay attention specifically. You are being guided. You are connected to your intuition. I don't have a doubt about this with this energy that I'm feeling here, but I feel like you're ignoring it a little bit, okay? And specifically for you, it almost feels like it's coming in the form of thought, okay? So those thoughts that you're having that are coming through, I want you to pay attention to those, because a lot of those are your angels, are your spirit guides, is that intuitive voice that's trying to communicate to you. And we want to make sure that you are listening to that and that you are honoring that, because your intuition is the roadmap for your best life. And when we can honor that, when we can listen to that, this is where the real magic happens. And I feel like you could use a little bit of extra magic in your life. So making sure that you're honoring that voice and that you're not pushing that down, that you're not ignoring that, because one of the biggest blocks that we can have to our intuition is simply that we don't trust it, that we don't listen to that voice that's trying to show us the way. The theme card that I pulled for this overall reading is the Goddess card, okay? So whether you're male or female, I feel as though this combined with the Empress energy is very much about just us connecting with our divine feminine energy, with us being intuitive and receptive and gentle and nurturing. And the card itself says the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Okay, so all of these things that we're wanting to connect with that goddess energy. Remember the goddess that you are, and connect with that. Maybe you haven't been setting boundaries with people. Maybe you haven't honored this beautiful soul and this beautiful person that you are, male or female. Honor that God or that goddess within you, and honor all that you have to offer here in this world, because you're awesome and you have a lot to give. And maybe people in your world haven't necessarily recognized that, and that has become internalized in the form of thoughts and the way that you view yourself. But that is not the reality, and you are a beautiful and amazing soul, and the angels really want to remind you of that. Okay, as we're moving into moving forward in a progression of time here in your life, let's talk about barriers and advice that Spirit has for you with moving forward. And the first thing that we have is paths unknown. Okay, so I feel like you have a lot of questions. You're trying to explore things. I feel like you're not quite sure where to go next. Understand that there might be still some confusion about that, and that's because I think we have a lot of free will here on this earth. A lot of things are mapped out, but we also have a lot of free will. And I think some things haven't quite been decided yet. And it's time for you to look within, time for you to take a little bit of quiet time to meditate or to go for walks. I mean, we have here someone walking in nature, right? To do something creative, whatever it is, however you connect with that intuitive voice, it's time for you to take a little bit more time and listen to it. That voice is trying to show you the way, is trying to show you what's going to be best for you, the best path for you. And so you're encouraged to listen. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's about ending a relationship or a commitment contract of some kind, because this is my One of Roses reversed. Okay, so One of Roses reversed can be my divorce card, can be my end of a contract, a discontinuing of a contract, a major life shift, that kind of stuff. So you're going to want to watch for that. If you're feeling called to walk away from something, to end something, this is really support for that this is no longer serving you in your life, and it's time to take steps in that direction. It's time to move forward with that and to explore, how can I do this? How can I release myself from this contract or from this relationship or whatever this is, and allow myself to move forward in a more positive way? Because I just feel like it comes with a lot of criticism, a lot of negativity, a lot of things that just do not serve you. Okay. And then the card that we have here is the cat card. Okay, so when you think about a cat, you think about independence, right? Cats just genuinely do their own thing and really are not so impacted by what we want them to do. In fact, sometimes they do the opposite of what we want them to do, right? They just have this beautiful independence. So can we invite in this energy of the cat, this independence of the cat? This is a time for you to be independent. This is a time for you to connect with that independence, to find strength in being in your own energy. Take yourself out on dates, do things by yourself, spend time in your own energy, get to know yourself a little bit more, because I feel like maybe you don't right now and you're really feeling disconnected from that. So get to know yourself a little bit better. Let yourself connect with that independence. Push yourself out of your comfort zone with that. If you always are bringing friends to specific events with you, go by yourself, step out of your comfort zone a little bit, push that a little bit so that you can explore that independent part of you a little bit more. We want to facilitate that. We want to really bump that up for you in your life. So pile 3, the last section of this reading, is where are we moving in the future? What are we stepping into? Okay. I love this energy that I see here, okay, because this is very much it's an abundant energy, because I do feel like you have some questions about money or will I be okay financially? These cards are totally suggesting that you will be, okay? We have 2 high earth cards, pentacle cards in traditional tarot, okay? And the very first one is the 10 of earth, okay? 10 of earth is about financial independence. It's about a happy home life, a happy family life, feeling happy at home. And so I feel like you're going to be moving into that. And maybe you're walking away from a relationship and that's really scary. But this is saying that it's all going to be okay. And you're going to find that happiness and you're going to find that joy. And your family and you are going to be better off for it. Or even if you don't have a family, maybe this is like moving into having a family ultimately through the decisions that you're making. And this is also about finding the magic in the little things in life. Okay, so I do feel like maybe you've been a little bit more down in the dumps, feeling more negative, feeling again, like you're expecting the worst. And this is really saying it's time to find the magic in the little things in life. And I think that you're going to do that better. So really looking for that gratitude, that joy in the little things throughout your day. This is going to be really, really helpful for you and your overall happiness and joy. And you're moving into a great energy. So get excited about it. Get hopeful about it. Start to create that vision of what your new future is going to look like. Because I think that you had this vision of what it was supposed to look like, and now that has shifted, and now you have to make adjustments. But that's okay, because this new future is even better and really, really beautiful for you. And here we have the King of Earth, okay? So this could be meeting a great partner for you. When I think about the King of Earth, I think about somebody who's really grounded, who's really successful, who really has his shit together, right? Or her shit together. It doesn't have to be necessarily a male figure. So we have this beautiful earth energy that's kind of trying to come through that can represent a specific person. But this is also about a successful time in your life, that you are working towards success, that you're working toward a financially abundant time, that you are working toward feeling really, really confident in yourself and your abilities and in your life. And that really, as you're moving into the future, everything that you touch turns to gold, right? The card itself says the Midas touch, right? So the stuff that you are passionate about, the stuff that you're putting your energy and your focus on in a positive way is going to be really, really successful. So if you've been thinking about starting a business or starting something new that you're really putting your passion and your energy into, this is really acknowledgement that it's going to be successful and pretty magical experience for you. So I'm excited about these cards that we have pulled here for your future. And then the theme card that I pulled for the future is the awakening to your true self. Okay. So through this process, through this pain, through this negativity, through this feeling awful, through this having to clear things out, through this shifting that you will be going through and have been going through, you're awakening your true self. You're getting to know who the hell you actually are. And I don't know that there's a greater gift than that. So yes, the abundance is going to be awesome. The success is going to be awesome. But even more importantly, I feel like you're going to know you and feel good about you and have this better understanding of who you are and what you want in your life, and work on manifesting all of that magical stuff. So that is your reading for pile 3. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. If you want to learn more about me, or you want to get your own personalized individual tarot reading, you can check me out at discoveryyourawakening.com and get that set up for yourself. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure that you do that, because I'm going to be sharing a lot more videos like this, and it will allow you to get notifications on any new videos that I upload. So thank you so much for watching, and have a magical day. Take care, guys.